Good afternoon, fans of Vineland High School Athletics. Welcome to beautiful Gittone Stadium in downtown Vineland behind the old Landis School, now the Vineland Board of Education. My name is Mike Schneider and I'm with VPS Broadcasting, bringing you some high school soccer action this afternoon as the Fighting Clan girls soccer team is set to kick off the 2018 fall season with a match against neighboring rival Bridgeton. Vineland is under the direction this year of a first-year head coach in Leslie Garton. Coach Garton taking over the program this off-season after it was led by Amy Ardito for a number of years prior. Seems to be a lot of excitement, as there usually is with coaching turnover. Fresh faces come in to lead the kids. Kids get fired up. Seems to be a lot of excitement down there with the kids ready to kick off their new season, doing it against a rival team from nearby on this beautiful new turf field has got to fire up the team even a little bit more. We see now the captains at center field with the officiating staff going over the ground rules for today's game. And we're going to get things going here in just a minute, it looks like, as the captains are shaking hands before heading back to their respective sidelines. It is a hot one today. We're at the tail end of a pretty nice heat wave that we've had going on here in Vineland and South Jersey for the past couple of days. Got to be up over 90 degrees today, so sure, the kids are going to be making sure to stay hydrated, drinking a lot of water so that they can stay sharp, stay fast, stay alert down there. As we mentioned, this is Vineland's first game of the season, so obviously looking to get things going with a win, start things off on the right foot. And as the girls take the field, we'll try to give you a shout out of who is starting. Looks like we have the first number that I'm seeing out there, number 7, I don't see on my roster. Let me double check for number 7. It's kind of hard to tell from where I am up in the booth, but it looks like number 7 might be Sarah Park. Sarah's a senior. I have her listed as number 4 on the roster, but that looks like Sarah down there wearing number 7. I see number 5 here on the near sideline. Number 5 is Carly Cervini. Number 13, Gabby Perez, a senior, up top. On the other side up top there is number 10, that's senior Victoria Garton. In the midfield, along with Cervini, I'm seeing number 20, Sierra Rivera, right there in the middle. And on the other side, pretty sure that that is number 15, I think, Angelina Minero. Angie's a freshman. Try to give you an idea of the back line as I get a better look at their numbers here. Bridgeton getting ready to get this match started off as they drop back. Number 2, Melanie Valise is in the back, as is number 12, Adriana Valentine. And then I think over there also on the back line is number 31, Isabella Cruz. And I'm not sure who is starting in goal today. It doesn't look like Isabella Fiorenza, but I'll definitely get that checked out at halftime so we can make sure to give the keeper her recognition. So Vineland's going to have a throw here from just about a little over midfield. The official clock is kept in soccer on the field by the referees, so we're kind of estimating time as we go. It's not going to be a throw-in for Vineland. It's a free kick here, sent into the middle, headed by Bridgeton, but not accurately. Vineland's going to send it in. We have Belize trying to make a run there. Now Cervini, it looks like, in pursuit of that ball, but knocked away by a Bridgeton defender. And a throw here for Vineland. That'll come from Belize. Belize throws to Gabby Perez. Perez trying to works nicely around a Bridgeton defender there. She's going to take a shot on goal, but right into the arms of the waiting keeper. But a nice job there by Perez to create some space in an area where she also was close enough to take a little bit of a rip at the goal there. That was Julia Pikilko, who was just jostling for possession. There's a through ball by Bridgeton, a nice ball to the side, but Bridgeton forward run off the ball by Monero. And a foul called. Bridgeton's going to have a free kick coming up here. That'll be handled by the Vineland keeper rather easily. Expect this turf to play a lot faster than the grass that Vineland has played on back at the high school for the past several years. May take a little bit of getting used to, but a lot of these go. A nice through ball there. Valise is going to make a run for it. Not quite able to get there before the Bridgeton keeper, but the Bridgeton keeper is out of the box and a little bit at risk there. Nice job to get it away, but a great pass there. I wasn't sure who that pass came from, but just a little bit too far ahead of Valise for her to get it under control and make a shot on net there. But again, a couple of early opportunities for Vineland, and certainly like to see that. Perez now working. She'll drop back. Valise looking to cross there. She's got Monero and Garton. Garton's going to head it, looking for a shot, not quite able to get it under control. But again, Vineland finding a little bit of early pressure here to put on the Bridgeton defense. This is Monero in midfield. She's going to drop it off to the left to Garton. Garton crossing into Monero. Monero just a little bit of a whiff there. Shot on net by Perez, and it's going to be wide to the right. This is certainly how Vineland's going to want to see this game go. Of course, I'm sure Coach Garton's going to look for increased execution throughout, get a couple more of these shots on net, but to spend more and more time on this end of the field wearing down that Bridgeton defense, eventually you'd think that a couple of these balls are going to get through and get a couple of tallies here for Vineland if they keep up this pressure. Rivera not quite able to corral that one, and a throw here for the Bulldogs. Through ball for Bridgeton. Cruz up to Rivera. Rivera's looking for Perez down the sideline. I think Perez is going to get there. Knocked away by Bridgeton and out, but Vineland will have a throw. And didn't get to see too many Vineland soccer games last fall as Perez drops that one there to Cervini. Back to Perez looking for a cross. We're going to have an opportunity there for Pikilko, and she's going to miss the shot wide to the left. But as I was saying, I didn't get to see too many Vineland soccer games last year, but I was making that comment as I saw Perez making that run up the right sideline there. Not sure that she has a ton of raw speed to outrun the defense, but man, she's tough with the ball. You see defenders try to run her off the ball, absorbs a lot of contact, maintains possession. Certainly a big advantage for the Fighting Clan to have a senior with that kind of toughness up there up top. Really two seniors with Victoria Garton up there too. A lot of experience up there trying to finish off these scoring chances for the Fighting Clan. A throw here for Bridgeton. Taken away by Monero. Bridgeton trying to clear it. They do get it down the sideline. But Parks just much too fast for the Bridgeton forward to maintain possession there. It's going to be cleared away a little bit by Vineland into the, or onto the waiting foot. Here we go. We're going to have Bridgeton now going for a shot. The keeper comes out, challenging the shot very nicely. Not only blocking it, but able to create a little bit of a counter opportunity here for Vineland. That's going to be sent forward by Cervini. Bridgeton intercepts, but not able to hold on to it. Perez moving forward, still battling for the ball, taking a shot. It's deflected by a Bridgeton defender right to the foot of Garton, who's going to take a shot, just missing a little bit to the right, or missing wide of the right post a little bit there. Not a real easy angle, I don't think, to make that shot on a volley. Oh, but maybe it was, maybe it was deflected there, because Vineland is being awarded a corner kick, so maybe maybe Garton's shot was more on target than I thought, and it was deflected out by a Bridgeton defender. So a corner coming here for Vineland. Sent nicely in by Garton, just missing the header is Perez. And I think that was Pakilko trying to grab that rebound and put it in, but not quite able to do so. So Bridgeton actually doing a nice job there to create a little bit of a counterattack, but stifled by Vineland. Nice job by the keeper coming out and challenging that shot. Giving up her body a little bit there, taking the ball away, and then setting up a counterattack and scoring opportunity for her teammates as Perez drops back there, finds Monero. Monero dropping back to Rivera. Rivera back forward to Monero. Another pass there. This is Garton now to the left side, looking to cross, and that's going to go up and actually into the crossbar of the football field goal post. Vineland moving the ball pretty well up in the forward half of the field here. Getting the ball to girls who are in space. Had some opportunities to take shots on net. Just a matter of finishing these opportunities now. And you know, as I was mentioned a few minutes ago, if Vineland just continues to spend this amount of time at this end of the field, a couple of these are going to end up getting through. You just want to make sure that you continue to defend the counterattack well. Vineland recovered nicely on that last one, but I'm sure that they would rather not have to have their goalie charge out and challenge a shot like that. But again, no damage done. And another nice pass there by Rivera. Perez not quite able to hold on, and Pakilko looking to take a long shot on the volley with the left foot and misfires a little bit. Bridgeton looking to turn the ball upfield again, but again taken away by Vineland. That will be Parks dropping back to the keeper, and Vineland will see if they can start it off again. Early on, it appears here that Vineland may just have Bridgeton a little bit overmatched in the athleticism department. They look faster, they look look a little stronger. So you think, oh, a nice pass there to the right. Valise not quite able to hit that first touch the way she wanted. She's going to send one into the keeper, but Monero can't quite get there before it's corralled. That's another aspect here of this. If Bridgeton really is having to battle just to run with Vineland, you're going to think they're going to get pretty worn down after a while too. So even though the score is still knotted at 0, Vineland's doing a lot of things right now that could bode well for their chances as the game progresses. Valise now taking it down the right side. She's going to pass back into Perez. This is Cervini now, and she's looking for some space. I'm not sure if that was a missed shot or if she maybe thought that Perez was going to make a little bit of a run there and tried to send it forward. A little too much on it regardless, and it's wide to the right, and Bridgeton taking possession. This is Pakilko. Garton, one-touch pass to Monero. Vineland not quite able to keep it going, but Bridgeton kicking it out in the clear attempt, and Vineland's going to have another throw. I think that was Parks with the throw. She finds Perez. Perez turning it inside to Pakilko. Pakilko was looking for a one-touch shot. But then it looked like she might have just tried to punch that one through for a teammate. There was nobody there, unfortunately. Bridgeton still struggling to clear it. Valise colliding with a Bridgeton defender there, no call. And we're going to have a substitution for the Bulldogs, and I think a throw for Bridgeton as well. Throw is going to be headed inside by Valise. Pakilko not able to corral it. That pass is deflected by Isabella Cruz. Bridgeton able to maintain possession. They're going to try to get something going here. That was Carly Finucci, I believe, defending. Cruz now with the interception. She's got Monero. Monero looking to start the counter. She's forward to Garton, I believe. Deflected by a Bridgeton defender. We're going to have an offside call there against the Bulldogs. For those not familiar with the rules in soccer or the basics, offside in soccer, the offensive player cannot be behind the last defender before the ball leaves the foot of their teammate. So you'll see a lot of times offensive players trying to time their runs so that they are, catching the defenders off guard a little bit and getting a head start without, the rule prevents cherry picking. As Perez now looking for some room up there, she's going to rifle one that is deflected above the crossbar by the Bridgeton goalie, and I would assume that we would have a that should be a corner kick. I didn't see the referee make the signal, but that was definitely going to be a corner kick. But as I was saying, you'll see the offensive players try to time those runs so that they're taking off just as the pass is leaving the foot of their teammate to try and receive the ball, as looks like a Bridgeton player there. Kick ends up deflecting off of the referee. And then on the same token, a lot of times, savvy defenders will creep up more and more toward midfield to try to catch those offensive players offside. The corner there from Garton. Perez deflects it toward the goal. And then we're going to have a shot missing wide to the left. Substitution here for Vineland. That wasn't Garton. That was Savannah Gant that was up there. Garton is re-entering the game here. With Sierra Rivera coming off the field is number 18, Evelyn Hernandez, and number 17, Delaney Fisher. So we mentioned the heat at the start of the game. It looks like Coach Garton is probably well aware of the effects of that heat. She seems to really be using a lot of substitutes as the game goes. Perez now, she's going to have another shot on goal. That's going to be off the crossbar and into the air, down into the waiting arms of the Bridgeton keeper. So Perez is getting closer and closer to notching that first goal of the 2018 season for both herself and for the Fighting Clan. As I was saying, Coach Garton, I think I've already seen, pretty sure that Gant did not start the game. Neither did Carly Finucci. Neither did Delaney Fisher, and neither did Evelyn Hernandez, and all of those girls have already gotten into the game. So it looks like Coach Garton really trying to keep her girls fresh, get them off the field when she can so that they can get some rest, get some water, rehydrate, and get back out there. You know, the sun is a pretty brutal thing, and nice job here by the Vineland coaching staff to rotate these players and keep them fresh. So Rivera looking to send this one. Perez finds it, drops back to Rivera. Rivera was looking for a shot there from about 35 yards away. She's going to miss wide to the left. Rivera, and she's got Gant forward. Gant trying to get around a Bridgeton defender. She's able to get the ball around the defender, but no Vineland teammates there to receive, and Bridgeton regaining possession. We've had several consecutive throws here, and it looks like maybe an illegal throw is going to be called against Bridgeton, and possession awarded to Vineland. Bridgeton coach doesn't seem too happy with that call. Valise to throw into Gant. Gant drops it back to Valise. Valise up to Perez. Perez finds Sarah Parks, who then finds Monero. Monero to Julia Pakilko, and her shot is going to be deflected by a Bridgeton defender. Pakilko now coming up toward the left side. She gets around a Bridgeton defender, tries to find Garton. Not quite able to do so. Kicked away and out by Bridgeton. A throw coming here for Parks. Perez looking for another shot. That one's going to be over the crossbar and through the goalpost. Well, I didn't hear the whistle, but it looks like that is halftime already, maybe? So let these two teams catch a blow. get rehydrated, and we will be back in a few minutes. I was just able to get some information from down on the field. I thought that seemed really early to be halftime. It was not halftime, actually. The referees, because of the heat, are actually allowing the two teams a brief water break at the 20-minute mark of each half. So it looks like the two teams are about to go back out to the field and resume play for the second half of the first half. One good thing about that, I think that we can try to keep track of time a little bit, since we know that there should be just about exactly 20 minutes remaining. The clock does stop for goals that are scored, and referees can stop the clock if there are injuries, things like that. So our time will, of course, just be an unofficial record of time. But that'll give us a little bit of an idea of what we're looking at as this game goes on. I was also able to confirm that in goal for Vineland, that is senior Ashton Hubari. So make sure that we get her recognition, particularly after that really nice save she made. That would have been bit of a blow to the Fighting Clan psyche if they've spent probably 18 or 19 of the first 20 minutes of this game on the Bridgeton side of the field and surrendered a goal. But Hubari did a nice job to come out and challenge that and knock it away, and no damage done there. So nice job. So we're just about ready to begin here. And again, it is still the first half. We just finished a 20-minute water break for the two teams because of the heat. Again, it is north of 90 degrees today, and it is very humid. So a throw here for Bridgeton. That's going to be kicked away by Parks, kicked to Angelina Monero. Monero dropping off to Rivera. Rivera was looking for, I think, Melanie Valise. A little bit of a misfire on the pass. Adriana Valentin was looking to get it across to Pakilko. Monero with a nice little move there. She drops off to Pakilko. Pakilko with a cross. She's got Cervini. Cervini had a shot at the net. Came off to the right a little bit. Was able to get the shot off, but from a slightly more challenging angle, and the Bridgeton goalie is able to make the save. Isabella Cruz looking to clear that one. Slicing it a bit, and Bridgeton has a throw from the Vineland half of the field. This is the first time I think Bridgeton has had a throw from the Vineland half of the field. And Cruz, man, just barely kept that one in. That would have been a corner kick for the Bulldogs if she couldn't, but she was able to. Soccer, the entire ball has to go over the line, both to be out of bounds and to be considered a scored goal. And it is the ball that is paid attention to. So theoretically, if a goalie was to make a save or pick up a ball with their hand while they are standing out of bounds, if that ball is still in the field of play, play goes on. So a throw here for the Fighting Clan. That looks like Parks again on the far side. Kicked away by the Bulldogs again. Another throw for Vineland. And Perez with a nice pass across the field right onto the foot of Melanie Valise. Valise not quite able to corral it, but she's going to keep battling. Kicked away by a Bridgeton defender, and Vineland with the throw. Throw into Valise. Perez is going to gain possession. And she crosses in front. And then she's going to send across. And the Bridgeton keeper misses on the cross, but there was nobody where that ball ended up. Vineland would have had a clear open net. But the two Vineland runners were actually kind of coming across in front of the goalie in an effort to get to that before she could. And then as it went through her hands, there was nobody on the back side. So right idea for the Fighting Clan. And another throw for Bridgeton. Bridgeton taking their time. Well, and again, the goalie was, or the referee just gave a whistle, so he might have been holding her up for something. It looks like we have an illegal throw on Bridgeton that doesn't get into the field of play, and or it looks like he might have them. Oh, the throw probably has to come in from the same place that the previous throw did, since the previous throw never made it into the field of play. So a throw here for Parks. On the Bridgeton side of the field, she's going to send it up into the corner to Perez. Perez trying to dance her way around several Bridgeton defenders, finds Monero. Monero able to deflect it. Cervini putting it on the net, but Bridgeton keeper able to corral it. Oh, kind of a hard tackle there by number 18, Evelyn Hernandez. No call. Ran the Bridgeton forward off the ball. Bridgeton looking for a cross now, deflected away by Parks, still in bounds. I think that is Pakilko trying to clear it, and she does, and there will be another throw on the way for Bridgeton. Deflected there by Vineland. And Perez trying to turn and run. And she sends, that's a nice pass there. Garton now, she's got it. And she's going to look for that long shot. She had the Bridgeton keeper had come way, way out of the net. And she may have been trying to chip it over her head into the net. Misfires a little bit. That shot is, I am sure, much more difficult to execute than it may look. I mean, you got a lot of space there. The goal in soccer is pretty big, and you got the keeper, 10, 15 yards outside of the net. It might look easy just to kind of pop it up over her head and have it roll into the goal, but it's obviously much more difficult than that. So the right idea by Garton there just misfired a little bit. So I have a feeling that there's a goal on the way here for the Fighting Clan. They've really been putting a lot of pressure on Bridgeton, and it is just a matter of time before one goes in. It would certainly be nice, though, for them to get one before halftime. By my clock here, we have about 12 and a half minutes left in the first half. So certainly plenty of time for Vineland to get that goal, but they have been pretty much controlling the action in this game. Spent pretty much the entire time down in Bridgeton's side of the field. A lot of shots by Vineland. Several of those shots have been on net. Bridgeton was able to counter once or twice and had flashes of opportunities. They had one real scoring opportunity that was stifled by Hubari there in goal. But other than that, Vineland really has dominated the action in this game, and you'd like to see them get a goal for their efforts. Particularly from the perspective of a coach. Certainly the Vineland players, they seem to really be making a commitment to passing. I hear myself as I'm calling out some of these passes. Hubari is going to come out and corral that one relatively easy. As I'm calling out some of these offensive pushes by Vineland, I'm saying a lot of different names in quick succession, which means that the Fighting Clan is really making a commitment to try and pass well, to involve a lot of their teammates, and when you pass like that, you get the defense moving back and forth in a lot of different directions, trying to cover, trying to stay in front of the ball, and that's where you can really open things up. So when they're working that hard, making that commitment to trying to pass more and execute a game plan, you'd like to get them a goal from it that can just kind of keep them motivated to keep doing that. Oh, a really, really nice pass there from Garten. She's got Bakilko running free on the left side. Bakilko does have some ground made up on her by the Bridgeton defender there, and she ends up taking a shot with the left foot. Not a real easy angle to score on from there, and that's going to have missed wide to the left. And another kick here coming up for the Bulldogs. Creeping just under 10 minutes now left in the first half. Still knotted 0-0 here between Vineland and Bridgeton in the 2018 Vineland girls soccer season opener. It's also, I believe, our second official high school athletic event to be contested on the new turf field here at Gittone Stadium. That is Bakilko trying to find Garten up ahead, doesn't find her, but Rivera able to corral it, and a nice cross there to Valise. Valise looking to find several teammates in the middle of the field. Not able to do so, and that ball is going to be just out of bounds before it can be corralled, and Bridgeton will have a throw coming up. If you're Bridgeton right now, you're kind of thinking the exact opposite of Vineland. You're in a situation. If you're the Bridgeton coach down there and his players, you're in a situation here where you have been, and let's see what Perez can do here, and that's going to be a shot. Nice save. Garten is almost able to corral the rebound. Kind of had her body going in a different direction. She tried to recover, was able to get a foot on the ball, but not really able to get a whole lot on it or really get it in the direction that she was trying, and Vineland not quite able to capitalize on that opportunity. But as I was saying, if you're Bridgeton, you're in a situation where you really haven't been able to do a whole lot of anything in this game. And, you're looking at being 7-8 minutes away from going into halftime, having not surrendered a goal, which can have kind of the opposite effect, as scoring a goal would have for Vineland. Or the same effect, rather, being able to. Oh, and Rivera gets that one over the head of the Bridgeton goalie and in the net from about, man, that must have been 35 or 40 yards out. I'm looking You know, one of the nice things for us here is this game's being played on a turf football field as we have the yard markers. And, man, she took that shot from about the 30-yard line, and the net is all the way in the back of the end zone. So you're talking about a 40-yard shot. And that's kind of along the same idea of what I think Garton was trying to accomplish earlier. She was a little bit closer in, but the Bridgeton keeper coming out away from the net. And if you can get a shot accurate enough, there's no way she's going to be able to recover. Rivera able to do that there. We're going to say that happened with about 7 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first half. Vineland senior number 20, Sierra Rivera, putting the Fighting Clan up 1-0 with a deep shot over the head of the Bridgeton keeper into the back of the net. By my count, we are just about 6.5, 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Vineland leading Bridgeton 1-0 on a goal off the foot of Sierra Rivera, Fighting Clan. And that's the other thing now. Vineland got that goal. Loosen the kids up a little bit, keep them feeling good about the way that they're executing this game plan. Rivera's going to get one up the near sideline now to Valise. Valise will be looking for a cross. Not really able to get it there. Rivera, and we'll see. That's got a little bit of bend on that shot. Nice stop there for Rivera, but Bridgeton keeper is able to position herself in the exact right spot to corral that deep shot. Parks there trying to keep that one in, not able to do so, and a throw on the way for Bridgeton. Hubari's not going to have any trouble with that. And Vineland continuing to pressure. You know, they're certainly not satisfied with one goal. They're, as Perez there with a nice little touch to Angie Monero. Monero looks like she lost her footing a little bit and waiting for a foul call there. Thought she kind of got run over, but no call on the way. She's back on her feet and battling, kicks that one away. That's number 6, Valerie Harris, in her first action of the game. Perez now turns it away, dropping off there to Rivera. We'll see what Rivera's going to do, sending in a long one again. She gets nice bend on those shots. And a substitution on the way for the Fighting Clan, and this is Garton returning to the field. Rivera coming off. About 4.5 minutes left here in the first half. Vineland still leading Bridgeton 1-0 in the season-opening girls soccer game at Gittone Stadium. Perez, does she have taking the shot, going near post, save made by the Bridgeton keeper. Thought she might have had an opportunity for a through ball to Gant here on the near side, but certainly nothing wrong with the senior taking a shot on goal. Having a little bit of space there to try to squeeze it in to the near post. This is Monero on the far side, and she's looking to head into the middle. Nice little touch there by Valerie Harris. Monero then drops it off to Perez. Perez around several defenders, and then she's finally run off the ball as she comes into the middle of the field to play. I think that sun's already starting to take a beating on these kids a little bit. I'm sure that for many of them, halftime can't really come soon enough. Just under 3 minutes by my count. And it's an important it's an important 2.5, 3 minutes for the Fighting Clan. Again, as we've talked, they've really dominated the action. They seem to be playing pretty well. It's not always easy to tell, what the coaching staff is going to think of a given performance. How well they're executing exactly what the staff wants them to execute. None of us are in their pregame meetings or their practices. But they certainly have dominated the action. They've put a lot of pressure on the Bridgeton defense. They've remained tenacious, even though it took them, quite a long time to put one in the back of the net. You certainly don't want all of that hard work to, to feel like it's wasted by surrendering a late goal here and allowing Bridgeton to even things up. But I love that Vineland is not, kind of hanging back and trying to protect a one-goal lead. I mean, it's, first half, first game of the season. They've been dominating their opponent. Keep the foot on the gas. Throw here for Bridgeton. My clock is showing about 1 minute left. Perez, she's going to have another opportunity here right around a Bridgeton defender. The right foot into the back of the net. Bridgeton keeper had no shot on that one. Perez, nice job there getting around the Bridgeton defender, making a nice little cut back toward the middle, giving herself the opportunity to take that shot with the right foot. And second that came off her foot, that was a goal. 2-0 here. Vineland leading Bridgeton. I am showing about 46 seconds left in the first half. Monero, she's battling there against a Bridgeton defender. She's able to regain possession, get it up to Valise. Valise looking for the cross. This is Perez right in front of the Bridgeton goalie, able to get possession, tries to turn and take a shot. Not able to put it in, misses wide to the right. And that, I believe, will be the halftime whistle. So, after one half of play, Vineland High School girls soccer team leading Bridgeton in their season opener 2-0 here at Gittone Stadium. Goals off the foot of Sierra Rivera and Gabby Perez, both seniors. Rivera able to put one in the back of the net from about 35 yards out in the 33rd minute. Deep shot over the head of the Bridgeton goalie, who had come out of the net a bit too far. And then Gabby Perez able to put an exclamation point on the first half with a goal in the 39th minute to put Vineland up 2-0. We are going to be back in just a few minutes with the second half. Stay tuned here with VPS Broadcasting. Welcome back, soccer fans, to Gittone Stadium, VPS Channel 9. Again, I am, or not Channel 9 anymore, VPS Broadcasting. I am Mike Schneider, and we are getting ready to bring you the second half of the 2018 VHS Girls Soccer season opener. Fighting Clan currently leading Bridgeton 2-0 after a pair of late first half goals. One off the foot of senior Sierra Rivera and the other from senior Gabby Perez. Vineland dominated the action in the first half. If I had to make an estimate, I would say they had to have spent 36 or 37 minutes of the 40-minute first half on Bridgeton's half of the field, almost like it was tilted and that Bridgeton has to go uphill to get to the other side of the field, it seemed like. But despite dominating the first half, Vineland had just been unable to punch through the wall and put a goal in the back of the net until the 33rd minute when Rivera scored from a long way out. We estimated 35 or 40 yards on her shot. And then Gabby Perez with a nice goal in the final minute of the first half to extend the Fighting Clan's lead to 2-0. Two teams have switched sides here for the second half. Vineland in the red shirts with black shorts. We didn't mention that earlier in the game. Bridgeton is wearing all white. Now Fighting Clan is moving from the right to the left on your screen. Bridgeton obviously going from the left to the right. You know, something else that I hadn't really thought of during the first half as I see Vineland keeper Ashton Hubari shielding her eyes is that Fighting Clan keeper is going to have to deal with the sun a little bit here in the second half, the setting sun to the west. Looks like it may be a little bit in her eyes. So anything up high in the air might cause a little bit of a problem, but hopefully her defense can keep her out of real danger as freshman Angie Monero is battling for possession there in the middle of the field. Kicked away by Isabella Cruz and then turned upfield by number 17, Delaney Fisher. Fisher with a nice ball into the far corner, corralled by Gabby Perez, who drops it back off to Fisher. Fisher looking for a cross again. Deflected by a Bridgeton defender, and Fisher still working. Look at that, and that's a goal. Outstanding job there. Hard work by number 17, junior Delaney Fisher. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that that is her first varsity goal, most likely. I think that she played on the varsity team last year. Don't know that she got a ton of time and don't know that she scored. I can try to verify that. But really outstanding work there by Delaney Fisher. She sent a nice ball up into the far corner to Gabby Perez, got it back, had it deflected, had a couple defenders on her, but kept working, found herself in some space, took a rip, got one into the back of the net. Fighting Clan now leading 3-0. Going to have a throw here coming up for the Fighting Clan. And this will be, I think that might be Fisher here for the throw. And Perez dropping it back to Fisher. Fisher looking to cross over by the front of the net, a little bit too far into the keeper, and it's corralled. And I would think there's going to be an offside call here. Yes, there is, as soon as the Bridgeton forward makes contact with that ball. And a free kick coming here for Isabella Cruz. And Perez making a run, splitting the Bridgeton defenders. Not quite able. She was just about a step too far behind. Outstanding hustle, no fault of her own. You're going to really have some burners to be able to get up in there and split those two defenders before they converge on the ball. And she was just a bit too far behind, but would have had a clear shot on net there for the Fighting Clan. Cruz now dropping back, and she's going to turn that one upfield. This is the freshman, Monero. She's going to take a little bit of a spill. Garton now recovering for Vineland, dropping off to Rivera. Rivera, a lot of space in the middle of the field. We know what she can do with that space from the first half. She's going to try to send one into the keeper again, but that one's going to be easily corralled. Showing about 16 minutes left before our first water break on my clock. Again, my clock is unofficial. The official time in soccer is kept by the referees on the field. This is Perez. Nice stop movement. She finds Monero in the middle of the field. Monero out to Savannah Grant on the far sideline. Not able to keep it going. This is Cruz again up, and she finds Pakilko. Pakilko, a little bit of space. We'll see if she can turn that into the inside. She's got several, and she's going to take a rip herself. Probably a smart idea there for Pakilko. I think that Perez might have been offside. I don't know if Pakilko saw that and chose to shoot. But I think if she had tried to pass that, then Vineland might have been called offside. Nice save there by the Bridgeton keeper. She certainly has had to do a good bit of work here today as Vineland has pressured her. And Bridgeton trying to make a run, cross back to the inside, but that's going to be sent away by Vineland. Monero not quite able to keep it in. And a throw on the way for the Bulldogs. A substitution here coming up for Vineland. I think that is Evelyn Hernandez, who just came into the game, number 18 here on the near side. Throw by Bridgeton, intercepted by Cruz. Cruz up to Hernandez. Hernandez is going to find Perez. Perez was looking to turn and get that one up to Savannah Grant on the far side, but wasn't able to maintain possession. But we are going to have a... looks like another offside call against the Bulldogs, and Vineland takes over possession. Perez trying to turn upfield. Grant, nice touch there to get forward, but she got hung up with the Bridgeton defender. Fisher coming up into the corner, taking it away. She's going to try to drop back to Gant. And possession to Bridgeton. And Bridgeton's throw won't make it, so Vineland with a throw of their own coming up. And this is Monero, drops back to Pakilko. Was looking for Hernandez, didn't have quite enough on that pass to get it there. Sarah Parks with the throw. Nice flick back to Garton. Garton's going to try to cross it. She does. Perez is there, not able to get a foot on the shot, and it's going to be sent away by Bridgeton. That's Gant able to keep it in. She finds Monero right in the middle in front of the keeper. And then Perez looks like she gets run over there in front of the net, but no call. And we're going to have a goal kick, it looks here, for Bridgeton. This is Hernandez gaining possession on the near side. She's got Garton. Garton's going to take it up into the corner, slow it down. She'll be looking for a cross. Cross in front of the net to the head of Perez. Perez not able to get quite enough on that one, but again, nice job by Vineland there, getting that cross and getting a shot on goal. Bakilko getting herself some space, sending it up into the far corner, but nobody there for it. I think we're a little bit less than 10 minutes away from our first water break in the second half. Garton heads that one out. And a throw for Bridgeton. Parks now retreating to try and she's going to be able to knock that one off of a Bridgeton defender and out, and Vineland will have a throw from the near sideline. If you're just joining us, Vineland leading 3-0 here in the second half of their season opening soccer game against Bridgeton. Gabby Perez in the near sideline cutting back toward the middle. She's just, and we're going to have there, she looked like she lost possession and was tripped up a little bit as she was trying to cut back toward the middle of the field. But she was able to get a pass off there to Savannah Gant, who rips a shot into the lower left side there of the net, and Vineland now leading 4-0. As that goal was scored, I was in the process of recapping the Fighting Clan's other 3 goals. 2 of them came in the first half from Sierra Rivera and Gabby Perez. The other one came early in the second half off the foot of junior Delaney Fisher. Fighting Clan now leading Bridgeton 4-0. Oh, and Perez takes that one away right near the top of the box by herself. No shot for the Bridgeton keeper to stop that one. Vineland now going up 5-0. And certainly, I think they can smell blood in the water now. We kind of thought this might happen, though. Bridgeton really had to battle in the first half there. You know, Vineland was putting this kind of pressure on the Bulldogs pretty much the entire game, and to keep Vineland off the scoreboard for the first 32 or 33 minutes had to have taken a lot out of the Bulldogs. Now as we start to get into the later stages of this game, you can see how, having been worn down, you know, Vineland's just getting even much clearer scoring opportunities than they did in the first half, and they are making the most of them. So a nice start here to the season for Perez, who I believe was the leading goal scorer for the Fighting Clan last year. If not, she was certainly among the leading goal scorers. Putting in 2 in the first game of the season's got to feel good for that senior. This is number 6, Valerie Harris, and she's going to find Perez coming back toward the middle. And she's going to reverse here to the near sideline. This is Angelina Monero. She drops off to Evelyn Hernandez. Hernandez back up to Monero. Monero coming back to the inside. She's run off the ball a little bit, tries to recover, and not able to do so. Bakilko drops back to Parks. Parks has Fisher in the middle. A lot of space for Fisher. And if she can get that one up through those 2 defenders to the right side, she had Harris. Of course, it's much easier for me to see that passing lane from 30 some odd feet above the playing field than it is for the kids. Monero trying to navigate around the defender. She'll drop back to Parks. Parks coming back in toward the middle of the field. She's bumped off the ball a little bit, but maintains her composure. Back to Cruz. Cruz over to Bakilko. Parks again with space in the middle. And she's going to find Fisher. Fisher up to Harris. Harris crossing there again. That's a number 7 that I don't have on my roster. This is Perez. We'll see if she can reverse. She's got Hernandez here on the near sideline. Monero back to Hernandez. See Coach Garton here down the near sideline directing traffic. And it looks like she may be encouraging the Fighting Clan to continue moving the ball a lot. Certainly nothing wrong with that. You got a 5-0 lead. Why not continue working on your the crispness of your passing? Parks with a nice ball up the middle. Oh, Harris, if she had kept on that run, she might have come right to that one. And we're going to have a throw for Bridgeton. Substitutions. This is Carly Finucci coming onto the field wearing number 4 for the Fighting Clan. Coming off will be number 12. Adriana Valentin. Sun starting to go down a little bit here at Gittone Stadium. Maybe picking up a bit of a breeze to give these kids a second wind. Ball reversed here. Hernandez back to Parks. Parks has Bakilko, and she's going to one-touch pass to Hernandez, who touches there to Gant. Gant trying to keep the Bridgeton defender off. Bakilko, nice job to get that and punch it back to Parks. Vineland just maintaining possession now. And the referee is stopping play. One of the Bridgeton players, there was a little bit of a collision in the middle of the field. One of the Bridgeton players, it looks like she lost her glasses or her goggles, whatever. And the referee stopped play, I guess, to make sure she was okay. And it looks like right now we're going to take that second half water break, which means we're about 20 minutes into the second half. So we're going to take a short break. We'll be back in a minute with the final 20 minutes of the game. Vineland leading 5-0 in the girls soccer season opener against Bridgeton here from Gittone Stadium. You are watching VPS Broadcasting, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back, soccer fans, to Gittone Stadium. You are watching VPS Broadcasting, and I am Mike Schneider. We are getting ready to begin the second 20 minutes of the second half here of the Fighting Clan girls soccer team's 2018 season opener. They're currently leading Bridgeton 5-0. Really nice performance to start the season for Vineland. It's high school sports. You're going to see teams continue to improve throughout the season. Vineland, I think, has done a really nice job of moving the ball, making a commitment to passing. Certainly going to be some things that they're going to want to clean up as they move forward, and they will do that. But really nice to see them continuing to work. They really pressured the Bulldogs heavily the first half of this game, but as we mentioned earlier, we're not able to push through and score a goal. Late in the second half, they put two into the back of the net to take a 2-0 lead into halftime, and that kind of opened the floodgates as Vineland scored 3 more goals in the first 20 minutes of the second half, and that's where we are right now, coming into the closing, the closing quarter, I guess, of this game. It's almost like we've played 4 quarters since we've had the water breaks. Final 20 minutes of the game getting underway now, and Vineland just looking to put an exclamation point on what has been a pretty strong performance to open the 2018 season. Looks like now we have some minor changes for the Fighting Clan. That is number 16, Ashton Hubari, is now up playing either forward or midfield, and the freshman Angie Monero has gone back into goal. Hubari really has not had a whole lot to do today back in the Vineland net. We did mention in the first half that she did a really nice job. The only real scoring opportunity that Bridgeton has had in this game, it was a heck of a scoring opportunity. They had 2 offensive players kind of clear and free heading toward the net. Ubari came out, challenged it, made a nice, clean, and effective tackle, and knocked that scoring opportunity away. Besides that, Bridgeton really hadn't put too much pressure on the Vineland defense at all. Fighting Clan again leading 5-0. The goals have been scored by Sierra Rivera, Delaney Fisher, Savannah Gant, and Gabby Perez, senior, has 2 goals to kick off her senior campaign. Bridgeton looking to try and get a run started. Too much traffic there. Pakilko is taken down there. No call. This is Hubari. Nice job there by Gant to try to step through and receive that pass. Not quite able to do it. Hubari now with some space in the middle. She's going to make a short drop-off pass there. She gets it back. And Bridgeton able to take possession away from the Fighting Clan there on that play, but not for long. This is going to be Fisher. She's going to try to turn the ball back upfield, kicked away by a Bridgeton player, and a throw on the way for Vineland. The throw will be taken by number 4, Carly Finucci. Rewind there by Finucci. There's the throw. Headed back toward the middle. Was Fisher trying to get possession. Hubari passes to Fisher. Fisher's going to look to turn up again. And we are going to have another Vineland throw. Pakilko. Back to Parks. Parks to Pakielko. Pakielko looking for that first touch pass to Hernandez, not able to get it there. But again, that's that's a really, really important aspect of this game as Evelyn Hernandez takes that up the sideline, then retreats and drops back. Looking for Pakielko is these first touch passes. As you get into higher levels of play, you're going to see a lot more of those players passing, shooting, getting into a dribble to take the ball or to carry the ball forward, and doing all that without first settling it. If you have to take a second and a half or 2 seconds to settle a ball that's passed to you, you're really giving the opposing defense a lot of time to recover and get back into position. But if you're able to make the next pass without settling the ball first, it is nearly impossible for the defense to recover, particularly if those passes are accurate. And, it's not like that's something that the kids don't try to do. It's something else that is much more easily talked about doing than it is to actually do it. But you see there the players working on that, trying to make those first touch passes, and as they get more efficient there, they're just going to continue to really, really rapidly improve. Because again, we've talked several times during this game that it really looks like they're really trying to work on their passing in the forward, part of the field. Making passes, navigating through traffic, particularly in those tight areas. If you watch any, World Cup soccer or big tournaments on TV, you're going to see the players, making passes that are just really incredible in tight spaces and doing it on the first touches. And that's really the example that a lot of these kids are trying to reach. And that's something that I expect we're just going to continue seeing to improve throughout the season. That's Fisher sending across there to Gant. Pakielko. That's another number 5. The only number 5 I have on the roster is Carly Cervini. Of course, that might be Carly Cervini. There is a possibility that the other girl wearing number 5 was not Carly Cervini. So Vineland getting control again. And they'll look to try to reverse field, drop back there to Cruz. Cruz on target to Delaney Fisher, a little bit too high. Fisher not able to get up and get ahead on that one. And another throw here for Bridgeton. My clock is showing a little bit under 13 minutes remaining in this game. And a foul called against Vineland, I think. Maybe a push. Yeah, some kind of a foul call is we're going to have a kick here. If it was just out, it would have been a throw. Right to the foot of Fisher. Fisher's going to send that one upfield. Gant making a run. Actually, I don't know that that is Gant. As I'm looking down the field now, I'm thinking that we might have maybe some JV players getting some time in the game now. Again, 5-0 lead, 12 minutes left. This game is well in hand. So it looks like Coach Garton may be getting some JV players some time. There are certainly far more girls down there on the sideline than are on the list that I have. Again, it's first game of the season. Other games that we cover, we'll try and get our hands on a more comprehensive list so we can get all the kids recognition when they get in the game. Looks like Hubari is going to be taking the corner kick here for the Fighting Clan. And she sends that one in. It's going to be in. That's going to be another goal for number 17, Delaney Fisher. That cross was really nicely placed. No Vineland players able to get ahead on it. But Fisher is right in the right place, able to get a foot on that ball, back post, put in the back of the net. Fighting Clan now leading 6-0. As Delaney Fisher scores her second goal of the game. And if our assumption about the first goal being her first varsity goal, the second goal of her career. A little under 10 minutes left in the season opening soccer game here. Vineland now leading 6-0 over Bridgeton. Vineland will move to 1-0 on the young 2018 season when the final whistle blows here. And again, you know what we're seeing here now with the reserves, and again, we don't know. Some of these kids might be JV players that are getting into this game. These are really, really valuable minutes for these kids getting into this game now. You know, regardless of the quality of the opponent that you are facing, you know, it's very early in the season. We don't know much about really any of these teams until they start to play. You know, the media and the sports reporters tend to have a pretty good idea of what teams are going to be really good, what teams are going to maybe not be very good, and, of course, what teams are going to be mediocre. But for the most part, you don't really know until they start playing. So regardless of the quality of the opponent, for these young kids to get into the game, play at the varsity level, be on the field with some of the varsity stars. Even though we have some reserves getting in, you look down, you see Isabella Cruz, you see Pakilko, you see Hubari is out on the field now. You know, there are still girls who started this game and to be able to get this experience playing at the varsity level, playing with the varsity players is really valuable in terms of you know, preparing these kids to one day step in and fill the roles of some of these girls that are going to be graduating. So these are valuable minutes right here. A lot of people are going to look at this and know it's mop-up duty. Vineland's up 6-0, but you know, again, it's much more than mop-up duty. This is valuable experience for young players that you know, Vineland soccer program is going to need to step up and produce in the years to come. You know, if they're going to continue advancing and being a competitive program in a very competitive, not just conference. I mean, the you know, Cape Atlantic League American Conference is a tough conference. There's you know, teams like Egg Harbor Township and Ocean City and Mainland a lot of times have good teams. You know, but more so than that, the section that Vineland competes in. Vineland's one of the biggest schools in South Jersey, so they compete in the sectional tournament against other big schools: Cherokee, Lenape, Shawnee, Washington Township. I mean, they're competing against big schools with big teams that are very good. So that's the level they certainly want to get to, and getting these young kids these minutes right now is a big piece of that puzzle. Is really no matter how good you are, there's something about playing in a playing in a varsity game for the first time, or playing in a varsity game when you have had very little experience doing that, regardless of what sport, that it puts a little bit of tension, puts a little bit of pressure on you, and it's a different experience trying to try to read a defense in front of you and to execute pretty difficult athletic movements. You're talking about some of these shots and these passes and dribbling a soccer ball, doing all of that stuff while under the pressure of being in a varsity atmosphere when you're not familiar with that feeling. It's just not the same thing. So, again, that's part of why this is so valuable for these young players to not only get the opportunity to get in the game, but to go in there and perform and compete when they are in the game. Now looking at about 5 minutes left here in the game. Vineland continuing to work the ball around. They're not just kicking it all the way down into the Bridgeton end and letting them run and get it. They are trying to maintain possession. They are making passes. They are continuing to advance the ball down the field. And even as the personnel has turned over quite a bit here for Vineland, the result hasn't. We're still watching the majority of this game being played on Bridgeton's half of the field. Vineland continuing to put pressure on the Bulldogs. And it still seems like the Bulldogs are traveling uphill to get to the Vineland side. That's going to be an offside call. Want to make sure not to forget to give a shout out to our VPS broadcasting crew today. Our crew is Kayla Spirer and Jordan Skarzinski, and our two crew chiefs are Doug Diola and Ryan Steinbron. The executive producer of VPS TV is Gia Masori. She is also the school district's public information officer. Again, these crew members of VPS Broadcasting, many of them students, many of them former students, they really, really do a great job here. Guys like me that do the announcing, we show up 15, 20 minutes before the game and we talk, but these guys on the crew and these girls on the crew are here long before the game, setting up the equipment, setting up the cameras, manning the equipment. Sometimes we have issues with the equipment during the game, and they're dealing with that and problem solving with that, so they really do a great job bringing these productions to you and also giving a little bit of a platform for these VHS student athletes to showcase their talents. There's not a whole lot of schools do this. Even as the age of technology has kind of taken over here, you're still not seeing a whole lot of schools that are, taping these athletic competitions and putting together these productions to showcase the student athletes in the school. So that would not be possible without our crew. We want to make sure to give them a shot again Today's crew, Kayla Spire and Jordan Skarzinski, and our crew chiefs, Doug Diola and Ryan Steinbron. And Gia Missouri is the executive producer of VPS TV and the school district's public information officer. My clock is showing about 1 minute and 45 seconds left here in the game. Throw on the way for the Fighting Clan. And it was less than 1 minute and 45 seconds because there is the final whistle, officially wrapping up the first game of new Vineland High School girls soccer coach Leslie Garton's tenure. And it was a promising start. The Fighting Clan defeats the Bridgeton Bulldogs 6-0. Again, we had 2 goals at the end of the first half, one from senior Sierra Rivera and the other from senior Gabby Perez. And then the floodgates were opened as Vineland added 4 more goals in the second half, 2 from junior Delaney Fisher, 1 from Savannah Gant, and the last, another goal from senior Gabby Perez, who locked up or not a hat trick, I'm sorry, she only scored 2 goals. But again, a 6-0 win for Vineland, promising start to the 2018 season. Thank you for joining us at VPS Broadcasting. I am Mike Schneider. Please check us again.